which is great. You went from that yourself now into municipal politics. What propelled you to run in Hamilton's Ward 1? I mean, obviously the seat was going to be vacant. Brian McCaddy ran for mayor, and you went into a tough race. I
did. I love politics. That's both good and bad.
Yes, it is.
You know, I like to think it's mostly good in that I continue to think that government at all three levels and even internationally can be a way to change the world for the better. I continue to believe the government can make a very significant difference in creating more justice in the world. And the new challenge, protecting the environment. I actually think that it is too soon to give up hope. So I ran for politics because I thought, how can I use my skills in a way that will push government toward doing the job it's supposed to be doing? And I'm figuring out day by day how to do that. It's still very much a work in progress.
I'm sure.
We are working on it.
We're going to get to right now, but tell me about the campaign. It was a tough campaign. I mean, you had a number of heavy hitters. It was a crowded race. You know, the lower cities, the lower city wards, it can be rough and tumble, but you came out on top.
Yes. So we had 6 very qualified candidates running in Ward 1. And the campaign started, well, the race to determine the new Ward 1 councillor started about actually more than a year before the municipal election this past October.
Yeah.
Simply in that Brian McCaddy announced his intention to run for mayor and not run for re-election as Ward 1 councillor more than a year before the relevant October voting day. So it was a long process. We started knocking on doors in June. And so we had a good few months of door knocking. Our campaign made it to every door in the ward at least once. Some doors got 3 visits in the higher voter turnout neighborhoods.
Wow.
And that was an absolutely incredible education for me.
Yeah.
I had a lot of conversations about diverse subjects that I had never had conversations about before. I learned about myriad local issues. I can now talk in detail about sewers and cracks and trees in individual parts of the ward, which is exactly necessary. So it was a necessary education on top of a great one. It was weirdly fun, I have to say. And it allowed me to explore parts of West Hamilton that I hadn't really spent a lot of time in before. So I grew up in Westdale, and my husband and I live now on Stanley Avenue right off of Locke Street.
Okay.
And I have certain connections to Ainsleywood and Strathcona, the other 2 neighborhoods in Ward 1. But there are whole universes within Ward 1 that I hadn't really spent much time in. But
it's incredibly big when you do it by foot.
It's huge. The ward is massive. It literally starts at the outskirts of Dundas, at the valley where University Lanes Plaza is.
Yes, yeah.
Right where Main Street and Osler fork.
Yeah.
And then it includes Ainsleywood, McMaster Campus, Westdale, Cathedral Park, all of Strathcona, including north of York Boulevard all the way to the water.
Right up to the West Harbour location.
Precisely. And then all of Kirkendall, all the way to the escarpment. Yeah. And then Queen Street is the dividing line between Ward 2 and Ward 1.
Yeah, that's significant.
It's a huge, massive ward. There used to be 2 Ward 1 councillors because of the size. And then amalgamation did away with that. So now there's one.
Ward 1
and
it's you.
Yeah, it's me.
And how's that going? Now that you're in office, I mean, what was that like? First of all, you win the election. That's got to be just a moment that blows your mind. And then you start reporting for work.
Yes.